Organizers have advised me that the next in line to speak will be Ms. Gill Atkinson, the Deputy High Commissioner in the British High Commission in Nigeria. After that, we will have Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Bello Dambazau, the former Army Chief and former Minister.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Ms. Atkinson, please.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Your Excellencies, for inviting me to this important discussion. The challenges that the northwest of Nigeria face are enormous. And watching the reports of increasing violence across the region, I think must be deeply distressing for all of us. Listening to the conversations today, I see many elements of hope about the way ahead. The first of which is the recognition that no single part of the system has the answer to the challenges that are being faced in the Northwest. And especially in an environment where numbers are small and land areas are very large, the various agencies working together and linking up and sharing intelligence is a key part of the answer to the challenges that face us in the Northwest. Perhaps if I can use my role as a civilian in amongst this august gathering to add one point which has not been covered yet. Much of our conversation has focused on the security and intelligence response to the situation which is faced. And amongst people whose background and area of responsibility is security, that's a natural response and a natural thing to do. But the other thing which I believe must be part of the solution is why people are carrying out these activities, why young men and boys believe that the only choice they have, or the best choice they have, is to carry out violent activity and attacks on their fellow citizens and fellow ethnic groups in the region. And it's through understanding the drivers of instability, some of which are very obvious, competition for resources, competition for land, lack of opportunity, but it's through understanding these drivers and doing our best to address them that we help stop the problem, because a security-only answer will never take the drivers away. And I am not going to pretend to have the expertise in your region that your excellencies do, but I would suggest that as we continue to work together to address these issues, that understanding why young men are making these choices and addressing those issues is an important part of the solution. I'm so pleased to hear the understanding of the need to link together, not just across the region, but also internationally, and to understand issues such as the movement of arms and light weapons, so that intelligence-led operations can lead to an important part of the solution. I am not going to speak for very long because there are so many people here who are so much more expert than I am. But I wanted to say that resolving this issue is so important for the northwest of Nigeria, and seeing positive trends in people's prospects and people's security is so important to the overall opportunities for the youth in the Northwest and people's opportunities to see a better life through peace and prosperity. So thank you all, and thank you for the opportunity to speak briefly.
attention to the fact that although this is essentially a security problem, it has many dimensions. We are not surprised that you are the one who saw it. Because we say in Africa, in a wrestling match, the man who is standing outside the ring sees the leg better than the man inside the hole.
Thank you very much. I seize this opportunity to say good morning to everybody. Listening to the previous speakers, I think most of the issues have been well captured. But I just want to, before I add something, to also appreciate the organizers for this first Umari Shantati Intelligence and Security Summit. And I think this is a wonderful way to honor the late Alhaji Umari Shantati. And then the theme, insurgency, banditry, and kidnapping, a multifaceted approach is apt. These are issues that this country, particularly the northern part of it, has been facing for quite some time. So I want to align myself with the past speakers in the issues raised, particularly with the fact that these challenges must be intelligence-driven, and also, like the Governor Matawale mentioned, must be, or rather, Governor Tambuwal mentioned, must be technology-driven. But I want to also raise the fact that it must be an all stakeholders approach. That is, every stakeholder concerned must be involved in finding solution to this problem. One thing I've not had is the issue of the local issues there, because I'm very much aware of the fact that there has been tension between the two major ethnic groups there, particularly in Zamfara, between the Fulanis who are living in the forest and the houses that are in town. It comes to a point whereby the farmers from the town will not be allowed to go into their farms in the forest, while the Fulanis will not be allowed to come to town for whatever reason. So these are local issues that I believe that have to do with land utilization. And I believe that like the Deputy High Commissioner mentioned of the drivers, this is a driver, and that we need to find lasting solution for that, because it's an issue that has to do with the utilization of land by the Fulanis, and also the utilization of lands by the farmers who are mostly the houses from the towns. The second issue is rural security. Most of our rural communities are not secured, and this is why they become vulnerable to attacks by the bandits. And unless we find a way to ensure that we protect rural communities, the rural population will find it difficult to survive. And we cannot do that unless we even know that the existence of most of those rural communities. We don't have census, correct actual census of even the country. I'm not sure if every governor in the state will be able to know exactly the number of rural communities he has, or the commissioner of police in that state, rather this.
Dambazau speaking. Let's see if you can sort it out. Okay, What do we do? Let's wait, or we move on. Okay. Okay, we are listening to the interesting presentation by the former Army Chief, General Dambazau, but we have some technical hitches, so we have to move on. And okay, although I can see him now. General Dambazau, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please go ahead and continue your goodwill message.
Yes. So I by and large, since it's a goodwill message, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the organizers, and we should be able to look at these issues in their totality. First, it must be all stakeholders approach, whereby every stakeholder in this issue must be involved in finding solution to it. Secondly, it must be intelligence-driven and technology-driven. Then, thirdly, we must be able to address the local conflicts because these are also drivers to these issues. And of course, finally, we must be able to enhance the cooperation between Nigeria and our neighbors, particularly Niger, because of influx of arms from Mali, Libya, but they come through Niger Republic. Without this getting together, this cooperation, and finally, the synergy among the security agencies. This is very, very important because if security agencies work in silos and differently, then it will be very difficult to find lasting solution to this because if it is very, very important that they share intelligence. It's very, very important that they fight, rather operate or, within the same doctrine or similar doctrine and things like that. Thank you very much.
We thank you very much, General Abdurrahman Dambazau, for your very important contribution. In particular, you raised the international dimensions of the local problem we are having. The collapse of the Gaddafi regime in Libya led to the flooding of West and Central Africa with a huge armory of weapons. And it's really a problem that we have to contend with. Thank you very much, Lieutenant General Dambazau. We will now go on to our next